Good evening. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the July 18th, 2024 Environmental Conservation Board agenda. We have 3 items on the agenda this evening. First one is Diamond Point Development for Baldwin Place Road, tax map 86.10-1-2 and 3, Planning Board site referral. You can please come up, state your name and who you're here to represent.
Sure. Good evening. My name is Rich Williams, and I'm with Insight Engineering, the site civil engineers for the project. This project's been presented before this board. I think this is our 3rd appearance. It was originally done as part of the planning board process, who's now granted site plan approval. And at our first appearance, this board had asked that we come here as the last stop in line, meaning after we've obtained all other approvals from the planning board as well as outside agencies, including the DEC, because the wetland on the property is regulated by the town of Carmel as well as New York State DEC. So that's why we're here. We now have secured all other approvals. We've most recently received our DEC wetland permit. If the board remembers, this application is removing the millings in the front of the site. This is the old Mahopac farm property, and that is being done to create a stormwater basin as well as wetland mitigation. At our last appearance before you, you asked for 2 things. One, to show the town of Carmel required wetland signs. You had asked for 3 signs. We've provided 5. Perfect. 3 on one side of the wetland, and we thought 2 on the other side, just to demarc both sides of the wetland was a good idea. In addition, you asked for a note regarding the town wetland inspector to inspect the erosion controls. That note was added on drawing SP 3.1.
Perfect.
So we are here tonight hoping you will consider approval.
All right. There was no comments or questions from the public. Did anything change on the plan or with the sequence of construction between the last time you were before us and now?
No.
Perfect. I didn't take a look at the file. Did you submit the DEC permit? That's done? You got that permit?
That's done. I have a copy with me tonight if you'd like it, but we did provide it to the town.
All right. We will need that in the file, if you wouldn't mind. Let me see. I do see a permit here, though. This is DEC permit under agreement, permit facility information, permit authorizations, 7/12, effective date 7/12/2024?
Correct.
Okay, no, we do have it in here, under Article 24. Yep, perfect. DEC approval, perfect. When are you looking to start this project?
As soon as we can. I know the next step for us is to actually close on the property. They're currently the contract vendees, which is slated to happen in 2 weeks. So.
Got it. All right. And just out of curiosity as well, any idea how long this project will last?
Probably 12 to 18 months.
Okay. I'm pretty sure we keep the permit is for a 2-year permit, if I'm not mistaken. So if you don't finish it in that time frame, you'll have to come back for an extension, and I will encourage you to come back before it expires, not after it expires, so we can get the full extension.
Okay.
I don't have any other questions. Is there any other questions from the board?
Nope.
All right, with that, I'd like to entertain a motion to grant the permit. This would be permit number 1006 to Diamond Point Development for 4 Baldwin Place Road, with our standard condition of a pre and post inspection of the erosion control measures by the town wetlands inspector. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you very
You
much.
can see Rose on Monday to get your permit. We'll have it all signed and ready to go. We just need to do a short form, the EAF, and then I can sign this and get this over to Rose. But other than that, you're good for the night.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go through the EAF real quick. Will proposed action create a material conflict with adopted land use, land plan or zoning regulation?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in a change or use in intensity of land use?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
No.
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a CEA?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway?
No.
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No.
Will the proposed action impact private or public water supplies or wastewater treatment facilities?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, or architectural or aesthetic resources?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No.
Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
All right. July 18th. Represent. All right. That's it. Good, we're good. Zeros on Monday. And good luck with the project. Have a good
You too.
night. All right, item number 2, submission of an application or letter of permission. This is for Girl Scouts Heart of Hudson, Rock Hill Camp, 300 Wixon Pond Road, tax map 54.13-1-8, replace a dock 40 by 80. Are you having trouble getting out? It's weird.
We out?
He's, yeah,
He is having trouble getting out?
no, he is out.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah.
Just push the bar, that's all.
Okay, is what it is. Some noises going on there. Please come up, state your name, who you're here to represent.
Okay, my name is Margaret Patura. I am the Director of Girl Experience and Outdoor Education, or Outdoor Programs for, oh, yeah, sorry. The door is like,
Trying to open up.
Yeah,
Hold on a
yeah.
second, let me check. You got it, thank you.
okay, an outdoor program for Girl Scouts Heart of the Hudson.
All right. Good evening. Thank you for coming before us today, this evening, I should say. So go ahead and I'll pass out these for the board here. If you wouldn't mind giving us a little rundown on what you're trying to do and where the project, basically.
Sure. So our camp has been in operation for many, many years. It's over 100 years old. And we've had a docking system with the waterfront for many, many years. And unfortunately, last summer, due to one of the storms, the docks broke apart. And the amount of money to fix it was really not,
Adequate.
what's that?
Adequate?
Correct. It was just so expensive for old docks that it just didn't make sense. So we're looking at a dock replacement. We found a company called Easy Docks, and what they basically do is kind of pop together. They have sections that you place together, and they lock kind of like Legos, and they're secured with galvanized pipes in the lake bottom, and pretty much they can be left year-round, so we don't have to, put them in, take them out. So there's a lot of win-win with that for us. We're looking at a smaller docking system than we had previously. That was like 120 by 90, and we're looking at 40 by 80.
So it's a reduction in size, is that correct?
Yep.
All right, that's great. What was the old dock made out of? Was it made out of like pressure treated wood?
It had the foam, it was like the wood and the foam that gave the float.
It was a floating dock?
Yeah.
How is it secured in place? Were there piles or pipes driven into the lake that it was held on? Like, how did it prevent
It
from
actually
moving
had
around?
like
Galvanized?
big, no, it wasn't the galvanized, it had like big stone,
Anchors?
anchors, yeah, thank you, and chains that.
Chains, okay.
Yeah, so it just kind of like floated around and stayed in place that way.
How would the new dock being put in be secure, like put in place? Are you putting in, is it floating as well, or is it gonna be
It's kind of a little bit of both, so it is a floating dock, but it is kept in place by the pipes. So I
Poles,
think they
okay.
put in like, I can't remember if they put in 6 or 4 pipes. I'd have to double check with our sales rep, but they put those in and it kind of floats up and down depending
Yep.
on what the water level does.
Do you know if they will be driving them in by pounding them in, or are they using any cement to put down there?
I tried to ask all the questions I could and I didn't follow up with that question. So I'd have to get that information.
So that's an important one, and we can,
Yes.
because if it's cementing, that will probably require full permit. If they're just pounding them in, which many of these dock companies just end up driving the piles in.
I think
then it's fully covered.
that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure and I want to be 100% sure.
We can make it conditional on that.
Okay.
As long as it makes sense. I mean, so far, everything I'm hearing, do you know how they intend to bring in the dock? Are they gonna be constructing it on site and then bringing it out into, like, just pulling it out into the water? Are they bringing it pre-assembled and then, or is it pieces and then assembling it there?
Yeah, so my understanding what they want to do, because of our side of the lake is kind of steep. The other side is Lake Sycamore, and they were talking about possibly getting permission to come that way, so they'd bring in the pieces, float them across, and then put them together once they got across. Camp Sycamore actually has the same system we're looking at. They actually have the Easy Dock system.
I see, yeah, there's some renders in here of what this will look like. I get it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is it going to be the full U shape? Is that right?
So basically, it's a walk around, they swim inside the,
Yep, yep. We figure it'd be, and there are spots where there are a couple panels that are a little different, so that way water movement can happen. Or easier water movement.
And this is in which lake? This is in which lake? Is it a
Long Pond.
Long Pond?
long pond.
Who owns Long Pond? Do you know whose jurisdiction that is? Do you have any idea? Is it?
I think it's town. Is it town? It's part of Sycamore?
I'm not 100% sure.
It's been a while since I've looked at Long Pond at all. Like, I don't know if that's New York State. Have you had to deal with DEC previously?
I did do the joint application for the Office of General Services.
Yep.
And they said that it's not a state-owned lake.
It's not. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that
Oh
paperwork
yeah, I
should
see
be
that
in
in here
there.
as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Review activities do not require a permit for NY SOGs. It's not state-owned. Proof of declination, no permit required. That's good. I'm glad you had included that in here. The new dock is going to be made out of aluminum. Is that right?
It's like the polyethylene.
Is it, wait a minute, are these floating like blocks? That's, it's not like this.
No, those are the old ones,
Okay.
yeah.
This is.
Not this.
Yeah, no, it's.
So it's a
this.
nicer profile.
Well, what's
So that's
holding it up?
Yeah, the picture that you're looking at right now, that's the old dock.
This
that
one
we
is?
had. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry, I don't have a
That's on the
picture
top
of
of
the.
this.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just to give you an idea, like the,
Side
Yeah.
and
So in other,
location.
it's those black floating things, and you're gonna put the dock on top of that,
it's actually
the material.
one unit, and it's it's like tan, I think tan or gray that it comes in, and it's just one thing, and it floats on top.
What's the size of it then? Each individual unit? Like 4x4? Something
It's a
like?
little bit bigger, it's like a little longer, that's why I think they want to
They're
do on
black?
the other side. No, they're actually lighter color.
Okay, I know, it's like beige, I know.
Is
It
it
Yeah.
Trex?
What's that?
Is it Trex that's made out
It's
of?
kind of like a Trex, so it's like a,
Some sort of
a
a polymer.
poly,
Okay.
It's a polymer one, okay.
yeah.
You're gonna put Trex on top of it then?
No, I'm just trying to give a comparison that it's kind of like Trex. Trex is a mix of like the plastic and wood
Yep.
combination. It's
Yep,
not like
that's
that,
right.
but it has that
It's
kind of
full
same
polymer.
feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
The Office of General Services, okay.
what I do want to bring up to the board is two things that are a bit competing. One is that, on one hand, they had a dock there,
Yeah, pre-existing.
pre-existing. This is a smaller dock they're putting in.
Yeah,
And typically, we allow for, as long as you're not materially changing generally how the dock is constructed. In this case, it's a floating dock that will remain a floating dock. They're gonna keep it in for a year, they'll drive some piles in, that's fine. They had anchors previously, it's not like, as long as they're not using cement in the lake, I think that this would qualify for a letter of permission as a replacement in actually smaller. However, I do also want to point out that this dock is, far exceeds our current code in terms of how far out you're allowed to go from the shoreline,
Oh.
right? I
Yes.
believe it's 20 feet.
25 feet.
25 feet.
yeah. How many people generally use the dock space in the summer, when it's busy?
When it's busy, it kind of depends on how many lifeguards we have and everything, how many campers. So that is something that is flexible. Right now, we are using like a floating, floats for our waterfront. So we have to keep it within, like 15 girls swimming.
At a time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's, we've got it 50, it's like 50 by 40.
Generally speaking, in the past, we have allowed for, if it was replacing it in kind or making it a little smaller, even if it did exceed the code regulations, granting a letter of permission, as long as they stayed within a letter of permission, this board has done before. Whereas if we were looking at a new application, we would often need to instruct applicants that they cannot go beyond the 25 feet. So I'm okay with us personally, I'm fine with us granting a letter of permission, seeing as how they're staying in the same style of dock in a smaller footprint now than they were previously. I'm fine with granting a letter of permission, but I do want to just make sure it's clear that if we instead were voting on a application, this would be currently against town code or town regulations of the size of the dock. Which again, in the past, when we've done letter of permissions, we've allowed that. We've granted permission despite that.
Is the Recreation Department involved with this?
No,
Just the Girl Scouts?
yep. I mean, I have spoken with Nina a few times about their dock, because they have the same system.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any comments?
Nope.
When are you looking to do this?
We're hoping like at the earliest, probably late August.
Okay.
Wait a minute, you're gonna construct it?
Yeah, so they bring, I don't mean to cut you off. They bring up the panels, they'll bring them up on a truck, and then they put them in the water and put them together and then anchor them down.
Okay.
So it's like a one-day
Build, yeah.
process.
Okay, and then you're gonna take it out for the winter?
Nope, it'll go in and it'll stay.
How close are is the trucks gonna be able to get to the lake in order to bring these into the water?
Very.
Like, are they gonna drive right up to the lake? Is it like are they bringing it in with like an 18-wheeler and then driving that right up to the lake?
I think it would I'm not sure, and I would have to find out more information about that part. I know that the person that I'm working with, the sales rep from the company, with our side of the lake, it does go down and it kind of twists, so she didn't feel that it would be the easiest way to get the trucks down, but I think it's gonna be like, at the most, probably, what are those, like dualies, like a dually truck? So I think it's a truck with a trailer, not an 18-wheeler, but I'd have to confirm that with her,
Okay.
because I don't wanna,
I think if there's any trucks that are, or heavy machinery like that coming within 100 feet of the lake, that we should require the contractor to have a spill kit, or whoever's driven that in to have a spill kit ready. Most of those trucks have them already on board, but what do you guys feel about that? I mean, if they're using, like, I'm just thinking, if instead they use a 18-wheeler, and then on the back of it, they've got one of those big forklifts that come off of it, and like the giant tires that can go through the off-road almost. That's totally fine, like I said, as long as if there's a hydraulic hose burst, they have a spill kit ready. Are you okay with that? Ed?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a good idea, yes, definitely, and they have access to it, I'm familiar with the area, they can get down there with a large vehicle if they had.
So we'll make that a condition. Spill kit.
The spill kit is, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, okay.
yep.
It's a bunch of kitty litter and some rags, and a shovel. It's just, if a hydraulic
Yeah.
line bursts, which
Yeah, you
they
don't wanna
do,
get into the water.
you can, catch it before it goes before it seeps into the ground too far and gets into the water supplies here. Which, the kids we don't want the kids
We
to
don't
be
want that
having
either,
them
yeah.
in the camp either. All right, so that's one item. Second item is, no cement. If you talk to the contractor, the company that you're hiring, and they do require that for this, you'll need to come back for a permit,
Okay,
because that'll be materially different than the previous dock. And I would highly suggest that you try to avoid that as much as possible, because if you do need to come back for a permit, may need to get an exemption from the town for the size of the dock.
okay,
Because as of right now, our town code only allows out to 25 feet
okay.
from the shore. But this is existing, and it's a letter of permission.
And it's smaller.
And it's smaller, right. Any other comments?
I don't think so.
Any other comments?
I wish there was an actual photograph of
What the dock look like?
yeah, it looks like there's sandwich white things, and what the surface is like. This company, they're gonna put it in, I assume? Yeah, well, you're obviously gonna come back at some point, correct?
Not if we're doing a letter of permission.
All right, well, okay. It's not critical that I have that, so.
We can ask for it to be a diagram or the materials to be submitted into the, there wasn't a MDS or anything like that in there. I guess there wouldn't be an MDS, but let me just see here. They had a whole brochure or something in here. Let me see real quick.
So this.
As you were looking through this, the specifications and your product specifications, it doesn't, it's not giving you what the actual,
I want a picture.
yeah.
Never mind.
Would you be,
Here, look, you see what I'm talking about?
yeah, what are you concerned about? Those look like,
They're like
Tubes.
railroad timbers in a way, and they're stacked like that, and they interlock. And these cutouts, are they
Easy
for
dock
boats or
Yeah,
sailboats?
that's, they're a little higher so that the water could go through, because it's like sits on the water, not in, it kind of floats on the water, but this allows water to move through so that it doesn't get like stagnant or, I guess that's for it, so it doesn't get stagnant inside.
This is for water flow, yeah.
Yep.
And what color did you say? They're like a beigeish color?
Yeah, they're like beige
Yeah,
or light
alright.
gray. Those are the choices.
So the surface, all
Looks
right,
like
so
this.
they walk directly on the surface. All right, okay.
And then they get locked together with like clips almost? Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah.
With the clips. But it's a solid surface. There's no like holes in between the,
Yeah,
Deck
there's no
slats,
gaps,
right?
yeah.
what?
No gaps. yeah.
No gaps, right, okay. That's what it looks like. No gaps.
Oh, okay.
Like there's slats, but
Right,
there's
it's
not, they're
just
just for
For
stabi-
show, yeah.
Right, and then they
Not
get
for show,
clipped
but yeah.
together like that.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I've seen something like that
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't have any other comments. I think I'm good with this.
I'm good.
You good? All right, with that, I'd like to entertain a motion to grant the Girl Scouts Heart of Hudson Rock Hill Camp, 200 Whitson Pond Road, a letter of permission to construct a 40 by 80 foot area, dock, replacing the one that they had previously in a smaller footprint at this point, with the following two conditions. If there are any large machinery or vehicles coming within 100 feet of the lake, that a spill kit be present on site in case there's an issue, and that no cement will be used to insert the piles that are holding the dock in place moving forward. Do I have a motion?
I'll
Make
make
that, second?
All in favor? Aye. All right. You will be able to see Rose on Monday, or give her a call, and she'll have the letter of permission ready for you. Just please make sure you're about the cement before you move
I'll
forward
find
with
out,
it.
yep. Thank you
Of course. Let me see if there's anything I need to sign on here. Doesn't look like it. No. I'll sign down here. Today is July 18, 24. LOP. That's it. That's it. That's it. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
And for the record as well, I did review the, what does that call it, deed, and it was in their name. All right, with that, we have one more item on the agenda. I don't have a list of who was here and who was not here.
Minutes?
Yeah, but we can do it anyways. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of 6/20/24?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, granted, or moved on that. With that, no further agenda items. Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
Make a motion to close the meeting.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Have a great evening and a safe summer.